great panelists, great insights, a lot about project planning, which is was the intent of this session. Let me get this working here. So what I've set up here is this idea of buzzword bingo. So rather than just a couple of questions that I'd throw out to this esteemed panel, a number of topics, and then we can dive into each one of them a little bit more. And just given kind of what we just heard there, you know what? Maybe let's talk about cloud collaboration. So sharing and co-authoring projects via cloud storage and computing has yet to fully make an impact on the industry. We are stuck doing lonely BIM. That might be true. You could also say the fractured nature of the construction industry, where there is no enterprise, no real single entity, limits the potential for cloud collaboration in AEC as compared to other industries. So just maybe some of your thoughts. Nigel, if you want to start with the mic down there. Yes, yeah, feel free to stand up and read. Yeah, I know it's kind of hard sitting down there. Oh, there we go.
So, no, we're not stuck doing lonely BIM. Absolutely not. I think the problem that we've got now is that there is no coordination of the cloud collaboration activities. Every part of the team has their own collaboration. There is no common thread through those. Yeah. So the design team might be using something, the contractual team will be using something else, the client may be using something else. And while that works, we're now stuck in an inefficient process where typically you're manually downloading something to manually upload it into the next. There's no continuity between them. Hopefully that's what we'll see changing, but it's made a huge impact on the industry, and I think we've got COVID to thank for that, is that that's really accelerated the way that people are communicating digitally rather than manually.
Totally agree. The thing I would add to that is collaborating on something that people haven't already agreed to is a challenge. And I think that it's upstream. What I shared in presenting was how do you get agreement to something that is really actually required at a detailed level before you go and start. And then you're more likely to collaborate using cloud collaboration in the right way to create the right thing at the right time by the right people for the right reasons.
Good point. Good point. Yeah, you can't collaborate if you haven't agreed. Or you can try to collaborate, but you're just going to combat. Yeah.
I will divide my answer to 3 parts. If we want to talk about the contractor part, then the consultant, then the BIM owners. So for the contractor, you should think about the business value. You should think about what's the objective. So whenever you do the standard thing if you use a standard process for your company, you can customize it for your business need. And the other level for the consultant, please be very keen about the collaboration. Not only bring your own tools to develop it inside the project. And for the client, please invite the right people to do your project. That's it.
True.
So, in my opinion, collaboration is quite a need of an hour. But the case study which I have shown, we could collaborate at least right from the planning till the execution, but we missed out on design. But on this other project of the coastal road, we could only do the design collaboration, but not the site collaboration. So basically, it's a mindset which I see that is a bottleneck which has been created, and I don't want to do it, but I'm ready to do a rework, not to collaborate. But now the mindset changing. It will take some time, but yes, the collaboration is required, and over a period of time, it will fetch good amount of benefit and the profitability to the organizations. I think that's what I feel.
Great. But planning is no fun. Yeah, and collaboration, we should just dig in and create models.
We were talking yesterday, so it's a thankless job, and plus, the responsibilities are higher on the shoulders. So, yes.
I love the way you hold the mic like this as if it's going to be a rap.
Omar the rapper. All right, let's go to another topic here. This is one that has come up more than I expected, and it really was a nice surprise the number of times that interoperability was mentioned, specifically Building Smart and Kobe, and I think some reference of BCF. That quote on the left there, a few of us have been pushing the rock uphill for 2 decades. Now it feels like there are people at the top helping to pull it up. That was a quote from Ian Howell, who is the acting president, executive of Building Smart International and the head of Building Smart North America, who for 25 years, he has been a leader or a contributor to the Building Smart initiative. He and I had a conversation a few weeks ago, and that was a quote that he said, that it finally feels like people are helping to pull that rock uphill, that rock being the goal towards interoperability and working together more collaboratively. And the second point there that I say is the emergence of a toolbox full of open source tools and libraries has created a viable option for working with BIM data outside of the proprietary applications. And I think we saw that with at least U2, and perhaps you could even say Plannerly in some regards, maybe not open source, but you're building solutions that typically you'd have to rely on Autodesk or Bentley or Hexagon to build some kind of mammoth solution. And I worked at one of those companies. I worked at two of those companies, but one of them in particular, the company is 8 years into development of a solution that is a cloud-based 3D, 4D, 5D tool. I saw that from the two of you, and you've built yours faster, and it's in production on multiple projects, faster than a multi-billion-dollar software company could get it done. So maybe some thoughts on interoperability, the tools that are available these days to get work done outside of the behemoth solutions that companies like mine build.
I think the problem that you've got there is that those companies are looking at the commerciality of the solution, and they're tying people into their own solutions. We don't want to work that way. We never do. What we want to be doing is being truly interoperable. We'll let the people use the right tools for their job and look at the information exchange requirements. Now, one of the problems with that now is the term interoperability. For example, we're not looking at open BIM solutions like IFC or things like that as an exchange format. We're looking at it as a delivery format, just like PDF. You know, PDF can give you certain help, but it's not an exchange format. It's a delivery format that tells you something. And that's the big difference we've got to look at when we're talking about this on projects is, do you need an interoperable solution, in which case you may be better looking at a proprietary solution, exchanging between Autodesk and Bentley products, for example. IFC is not going to be the best choice for that. There is going to be another format that you can use to do it and do it more effectively. But as a receiver of that information, I don't want to restrict anybody to whether they want to use Bentley or Graphisoft or Nemetschek or whatever. I want their information in a neutral format. Hence why there's never an argument about PDF. Everybody complains to high heaven about IFC, but we prove it can be done. Every project we work on is never coordinated correctly, but what we also find now is that every project starts by going, we can't deliver IFC, it won't work. And you have to work and debunk those myths and actually demonstrate. We're working on a very large infrastructure project at the minute, 26 miles of sewers. IFC is not for infrastructure. Well, we've demonstrated that actually there's more entities for infrastructure than there is for buildings. So myths, people's blinkered approach. What we've got to do, and I hope you guys will pick up on this, is we've got to educate people and help them move forward so it doesn't take 8 years, it can take 8 months.
I completely agree. It should be the right tool for the right job and integrate. So the right tool for BIM execution planning is not Word. Pick the right tool for the right job.
Yeah, for me, when I talk about the interpolation as a project controllers and I work in the digital delivery perspective, it's something very, very, very challenging. You know that when you're working in a different perspective, you're trying to bring the BIM value for the project management team. So they are using a different tool. They are using a different perspective of seeing things, and the BIM team trying to think about the things in design, coordination. Here, the massive of tools you are seeing here is it's a very, very big number of programs you should use. So interpretation is, as you say, use the right tool for the right job. And as well, don't bring your a tool you are used to work with only for, that's why you are use it before. Just you need to bring the right tool for the right job and be keen about the business perspective. If they are delivering infrastructure project, as you see, the IFC is not work. If you are working with Bentley, use iModel. So yeah, a lot of tools, a lot of think about big things to think about, but at the end, if you focus on the deliverable of the project, you will pick the right tool for your project. That's it.
So I think there are two perspectives in my opinion. That is, one is a commercial aspect, what he's already addressed. That commercial is the pattern which the product is being manufactured, and they have to earn profit out of it. That is one point of view. And second is the openness or the thought process. That the way we were executing that the mobile app which we have developed is not we want to sell it as a product, but we have an idea that everybody should try to use it and make use of it for the analytics and for the project over a period of time. So it should be that simple. And whenever we are executing that kind of an implementation, we get on board all the site people to understand what exactly this app is going to do and how it's going to help them to analyze. So and so we are not charging anything for the app on those particular projects. So we try to see that how best possible platform reaches to each and everybody on site, on grounds. So I think that is something actually I think which adds a value to an engineer, I would say.
Well, we have like 12 more topics there, but we are out of time. Could have probably spoken for another hour or two on these topics and many more. I want to thank my esteemed panel, new friends. Thank you so much. Thank you, audience, for attending, and we'll be around for the rest of the day. Please find us. Thank you.